The much anticipated Ankole cattle auction takes place at President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala farm in Bela Bela in Limpopo today. The breed is one of the world's most sought after. The FF has threatened to protest at the venue following allegations that the president tried to cover up a burglary at the farm involving millions of dollars following a game auction at the farm in 2020. Let's now cross to our reporter at the farm, Samkele Maseko. Samkele, a very good morning to you. Can you tell us what the auction is about today and what we expect today?
Well, before we get to the auction here at the President's farm, where it's dubbed Phala Phala Gate, where millions of dollars were allegedly stolen at the President's farm, with allegations that President Ramaphosa tried to conceal this particular burglary, which happened in 2020 whilst he was still in Addis Ababa, which is what he has allegedly said transpired when allegedly millions of dollars were stolen at this particular farm here in Phala Phala. We do know that the Namibian authorities, particularly the Namibian police, have said that they did receive correspondence initially from the South African government, and they did meet at no man's land to deliberate on this particular matter. And further on, there was no particular cooperation from the South African government, and in particular the Ministry of Justice, which is named in the statement of the Namibian police. What we do also know, which transpired this morning at this farm of President Ramaphosa, when we arrived, we did have signal at the farm when we are literally at the main gate of the entrance of the farm. At about 10 to 9 this morning, then seemingly the network disappeared. We've literally had to drive 3 kilometers up from the President's farm in order to get reception from President Ramaphosa's farm. One wonders if there is signal jamming at this particular farm, or it's just a coincidence that the network seemingly went off when we started tweeting of the various activities that were happening, of the various people coming in and outside the farm as they prepare for the start of this particular auction of this particular unique breed of Ankoles, which President Ramaphosa initially got when he traveled to Uganda to meet with the Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, where he found this love of Ankole, which he literally had to go through a process of transporting them from Uganda to Egypt first for testing. Then only were they able to come and make their way into South Africa to start a very unique club called the Ankole Society, whom they will be bidding for these Ankole cattle, which comes at a controversy of those millions of dollars of that case that has been opened by former spy boss Arthur Fraser on President Ramaphosa, allegedly kidnapping and torturing individuals whom were allegedly at the center of stealing over millions of dollars, which amounts to allegedly to about 60 million rands, which the president has since distanced himself from saying that it is not 60 million rands or whatever dollars that have been dubbed by Arthur Fraser when he was speaking to the ANC leaders and ANC conference in Limpopo about 2 weeks ago.
Samkele, what time do we expect the proceedings to start? Any word of, and who have you seen in the time that you were at the farm? Who did you see that you recognize?
At this point in time, we've not seen familiar faces, but we do know that a large number of those whom belong to the Ankole Society. If you remember correctly, about 2 months ago, during the ANC Provincial Conference in Mpumalanga, out at the Middleburg Dam, Woodbank Dam rather, there was an auction at this farm of President Cyril Ramaphosa in that particular weekend, where he sold an Ankole for 2.1 million rands. If my memory serves me right, which it does, I do remember correctly, that specific weekend at the auction at this specific farm, his brother-in-law, businessman tycoon Patrice Motsepe, was one of the bidders at that particular weekend who did buy an Ankole from President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala farm and Abanyoni farm, which is out in Mpumalanga, where they also breed buffaloes and Ankoles at that specific farm, which is near Standerton, Emelo area. And you've got this farm here in Bela Bela, Phala Phala farm, which also breeds wildlife and Ankoles, where this auction is taking place this weekend. And 2 months ago, that auction took place where Patrice Motsepe bought auction. So a number of prominent business people within the country and from the African neighboring countries do come, and from European countries as well, do come and buy these Ankoles and bid for them from President Cyril Ramaphosa. Not only Ankoles and other wild animals that are seemingly here, which he says that this farm is also used for people who want to hunt, and they pay to hunt at this specific farm of his. So allegedly, we've got those millions of dollars which were stolen from this farm, which has opened up the Phala Phala gate, and you've also got the litigation which is currently taking place. Just this week, the Hawks met with Arthur Fraser, the former head of State Security Agency, who did give them more evidence of videos, photos, emails, and voice notes of the Phala Phala gate and the alleged torturing and kidnapping of those whom were involved in the breaking in and of the stealing of the millions of dollars of President Ramaphosa, whom had been here at this Phala Phala game farm of his. Now the $1 million question is, did the president break any financial regulations within the country? Where did this money come from? Where was it going? Was it declared? Did he notify the South African Reserve Bank that he had dollars here at his farm? Did he break his oath of office by not going to report a crime that transpired here at the Phala Phala farm? Which are some of the questions that the president has to answer. The national chairperson of the African National Congress, Gwede Mantashe, speaking in the Free State last weekend, did say that Arthur Fraser himself has some questions to answer, as who told him of this break-in? Where did the evidence come from? Did it come from the president's security detail? Are the questions Gwede Mantashe is asking, saying that Arthur Fraser must reveal his sources, which I highly doubt. But the president himself has some serious questions to answer on these allegations of bribery, allegedly bribing the individuals that broke into his farm, trying to conceal the information. Did he financially benefit from the proceeds that were coming from the auctioning of the animals that he says were the proceeds of an auction from this specific farm? We do know that for this specific auction today, they have categorically stated that there will only be EFT transfers. No cash will be exchanging of hands at this specific auction, which has opened up a can of worms for the President of the Republic of South Africa, where he now has to answer on the business relations of his farming industry.
Samkele Maseko, thank you so much for talking to us. Interesting afternoon you have ahead of you there. Our reporter Samkele Maseko giving us details of what we expect from the President Cyril Ramaphosa's farm out in Phala Phala.